Good afternoon, Bella. My name is Peter Schneider from Croydon. I've been a photographer for 12 years. I've been a photographer much longer, actually, but I've been self-employed for 12 years. Doing lots of faces and places around Croydon, family events, business events, corporate events, and also businesses for the products or services or property areas, location shoots.
Excellent. So it's been a number of years now you've been in business as a photographer. What would you say has been one of your biggest challenges as a photographer, and what did you do to overcome, maybe in the beginning as a business owner?
I think getting myself known, getting myself out there, finding clients and customers in the first days, the way I got over that was to go out networking, face-to-face marketing, face-to-face networking has been the best for me. I tried advertising in newspapers, magazines, etc. Never really worked to a degree. Face-to-face, you're actually talking to people who need your services, and they can recommend me on also to other people. Once they know you, they like you, they trust you, they can see you, they get a good vibe from you, they're happier to use your services and also to recommend you on.
Sure. I've always admired you live in Croydon and you also network in Croydon and stick to that area. That's always been a good strategy. Why do you prefer to network in the Croydon area?
One, because I live there.
Yes. Easy for
B,
transport.
because there is a lot of networking events in Croydon. Croydon is very accessible to central London and, of course, all the southeast of England. There's lots of other networking things go around Bromley as well, so I do visit Bromley too, a little bit out the borough. But in that whole south of London area, there's a lot of businesses, a lot of companies, a lot of SMEs, and a lot of people come in and out of London, visit Croydon, visit London. Might have an office in London and Croydon, for example.
I think that's a good strategy that you've put in place there, and it's been consistent since I've known you, and I've known you for about 8 years, and you're a true gem in my network. So networking just in Croydon is actually quite good, and I think it probably multiplies your networking because it allows your brand to be recognised and familiarity with a lot of people that you may see in an event and then you see them again. So I totally agree with that. Would you say, agree or disagree, could your business survive without networking?
It wouldn't be as good without the networking. I'd have to rely on advertisements on the internet or magazines, papers, local press, etc. It wouldn't be as good. The face-to-face has definitely been the best way to promote myself and my business. People buy me because of me. You can pick up a photographer anywhere, but you don't know if they're going to be any good. You need to go for the person behind the camera. They need to be good rapport, good knowledgeable, trustworthy. Just get a good feeling, you get a good vibe. Once you're talking to someone, you pick up a vibe, don't you? Whether you like somebody, you don't like somebody.
I totally agree, because there are many photographers out there, and your area of photography is commercial, you do a bit of individual work. How would you say, or if you could share some of your previous photography work you've done and how you are different to other photography? So what type of commercial work do you do?
Commercial work is faces and places. Certainly faces are going to be corporate headshots and the services that people do for their business, whether they're builders, whether they're in construction. They need photographs of themselves, of their people doing their work. The places are going to be venues, location shoots. I've visited various offices, various factory sites, to photograph their products and the location of the actual building itself, perhaps the interiors, etc. Some products I actually get to take home to photograph in my own time. I can fit it in even the evening, so things get done quickly and efficiently. Photographs, once they're photographed, they can be sent off via WhatsApp, via the internet, send a CD, deliver the stuff the next day sometimes. So people can have their images, finished images, edited, ready to go online within 1 day or two if necessary.
Excellent. So you really offer a reliable, speedy service.
That's important. Speed is important. People often, if they're having something done, they want to promote themselves, get it in advertising, get it in magazines. to help promote themselves quickly. So I can do that. If they tell me they want it by a certain time, they will have it the day before, usually.
It's really admirable that you stick to that deadline, and I think it's a great customer service, because I have in the past heard many entrepreneurs in my network who have hired photographers, and they are literally chasing the photographers for the images, and it could take weeks. So I'm glad that you actually have that process to say to the client, you know, when do you need it? And obviously if there's an urgency, then you will actually produce that work. And I've worked with you many times, and I've never had to chase you.
I've got a client now who's asked me to do a job in 2 weeks' time, and they want the pictures the next day to go in a newspaper to promote that event which they've had the day before. So that's part of the criteria. They want me, as long as they can get the pictures the next day, which they will have.
And as a photographer, how much time do you spend on editing, and how do you factor into the process? Because some people take the photography process for granted. They don't realise that sometimes you do have to edit. And what's your take and process on that?
You always have to edit. You can take the basic picture, the raw picture. I will try and take the picture the best I can at the time in camera, to try and get the best shot in the camera. It saves a lot of time later. It's better to spend an extra minute getting the picture right than spend 5 minutes on the editing afterwards. But there is always editing and post-processing to be done afterwards. Probably spend about the same amount of time, I think, on the post-processing. So if I'm going to price a job for a 1 hour, 2 hour meeting, perhaps events, I'm going to expect to spend another 1 hour, 2 hours editing afterwards. So effectively, people are buying me for 2 hours or 4 hours.
Excellent. That's fantastic. What are your business goals for 2020? What are you hoping to achieve for this year?
I would like to meet with more property people, certainly around the London area, hotels possibly, interior designers, kitchen fitters, anybody where they're building things and making things, creating things. If they're a creative architect, for example, they all need photographs of their finished product, finished items to show off. They can often take the before pictures, which they'll be using telephones or medium camera. The lighting won't be right, the angles won't be right. If I'm going to go and do the finished job, they want the professional pictures looking. So I'm looking for more property people, architects, even hotels, estate agents, etc., renters. I'm going through my back catalogue of my travel photographs too and getting them up online. That's what I need to do. I need to do more of that this year. I will be doing more this year. Excellent.
What advice would you give to a startup? I know you've been in business a long time now, since 2008. Somebody who wants to start up their business or wants to be an entrepreneur, what advice would you give to somebody who wants to take that step?
Start off steadily, build a good foundation. Keep things simple to begin with. Don't go out splashing out lots of money on fancy offices or fancy equipment. Buy what you need to do, get what you need to do. Certainly you need to do the face-to-face networking, find events around your area. Some events are free, some you have to pay for. Go and try them all out and see if you think they might be beneficial. And one particular networking group may have a different feel if you visit one group in one area or a different group in a different area. So try them all out and get yourself out and about. Keep notes, keep track of everybody, keep cards, and have lots of coffee with people. Have lots of face-to-face meetings with people.
Thank you so much for that. Do you have a question for me?
I have one troublesome area when I do go networking. I've been networking for probably 8 years, but I still have trouble, Bella, engaging. If I'm going to a network and there's groups of people, there quite often are 2, 3, 4, that all know each other, or they all seem to know each other, all chatting to each other, and I find it difficult to butt in, to get myself into that group, to even say, look, hello, good afternoon, I'm Peter Snyder, the photo man. So how do I get that first word in the door when they're in a little group of people all chatting and laughing? I feel a bit out of it.
Peter, that's an excellent question. And a lot of my clients do struggle with that question. So I have a great solution for you. And it also falls into having to master the art of conversation. So for some of our non-UK listeners, because it is a global podcast show, when we say the word button in, we simply mean how can we start a conversation or say the first word. So one of the things I would say with networking is you can be creative, and there's actually no right or wrong answer. So let's start with that. So we eliminate the weaknesses. And I would say, show your vulnerability. And there are 2 examples you can use to achieve this. When you approach the group, you can simply say, I would love to join your group. My name is Peter, and I'm the photo man. Now, when you have a good ring to your name or branding as you do, it creates interest. So the number one thing is they will not say no, you can't join the conversation. And actually, they'll be a bit intrigued. Oh, Peter the photo man. And I'm telling you, you're going to get a smile. They'll want to join you. Another trick I used to use when I was at the early stage as being a networking guru and I was still learning a thing or two. Before joining the group, I never knew what to say. So a little trick I used to say was approach the group and actually say, oh, would you mind repeating that for me? I didn't quite catch what you said. So it is a little white lie, but it helps to get your confidence going. Now, when you do have an opening sentence like that, you sort of have to back it up. And be ready to be confident and positive and show interest by then saying, tell me more about your business. So then that also shows that you're showing interest. And we know in networking, to be successful, to show interest shows that you're interested or an interesting person. So thank you so much for that question, Peter.